In this video, we will explore the concept of working with colors by using the Swatches panel. To begin, ensure that the Swatches panel is displayed on your screen by selecting the Window menu, selecting Color, and selecting Swatches if necessary. The Swatches panel lets you create and name colors, gradients, or tints and quickly apply them to your document. As I mentioned in a previous video, swatches are similar to paragraph and character styles. Any change you make to a swatch affects all objects to which the swatch is applied. Swatches make it easy to modify color schemes without having to locate and adjust each individual object. When the fill or stroke of selected text or an object contains a color or gradient applied from the Swatches panel, the applied swatch is highlighted in the Swatches panel. Swatches you create are available only within the current document. Each document can have a different set of swatches stored in its Swatches panel. By default, your Swatches panel will display 6 CMY colors including cyan, magenta, yellow, red, green, and blue. Color icons on the Swatches panel identify whether the color is a spot or process color type. Although there is no spot color currently displayed, notice that I can see an icon indicating the colors I have listed are process colors. If these colors were spot colors, a circle icon would be displayed. Also, icons for color modes will be displayed. There are several CMY colors displayed, a single RGB color, a lab color is not displayed but would have an icon that was filled with small squares of varying colors, and finally a mixed ink color mode would be displayed in what looks like 2 color water droplets. Next, a percentage next to a swatch in the panel indicates a tint of color. An icon on the Swatches panel that looks like either a grayish circle within a black square indicates a radial gradient, or a vertical black to white square indicates a linear gradient. The None swatch removes the stroke or fill from an object. It's important to note that you can't edit or remove this swatch. Paper is a built-in swatch that simulates the paper color on which you're printing. Objects behind a paper-colored object won't print where the paper-colored object overlaps them. Instead, the color of the paper on which you print shows through. You can edit the paper color to match your paper stock by double-clicking on it in the Swatches panel. Use the paper color for previewing only. It will not be printed on a composite printer or in color separations. Please keep in mind that you can't remove this swatch either. Do not apply the paper swatch to remove color from an object. Instead, use the None swatch. Black is a built-in 100% process color, black, defined by using the CMYK color mode. You can't edit or remove this swatch either. Registration is a built-in swatch that causes objects to print on every separation from a PostScript printer. For example, registration marks use the registration color, so that printing plates can be aligned precisely on a press. You cannot edit or remove the swatch. When working with the Swatches panel, you also have the option to change its display. I'm going to click on the Swatches panel menu to demonstrate and take a look at a couple of our options. Name displays a small swatch next to the name of the swatch. The icons to the right of the name show the color mode, CMYK, RGB, and so on, and whether the color is a spot color, process color, registration color, or none at all. Small name displays compacted swatch panel rows. Small swatch or large swatch displays only the swatch. A triangle with a dot in the corner of the swatch indicates that the color is a spot color. A triangle without a dot indicates a process color. At the bottom of the Swatches panel, I can decide which swatches to display. Show All Swatches displays all color, tint, and gradient swatches. Show Color Swatches displays only process, spot color, mixed ink, and tint swatches. Show Gradient Swatches displays only gradient swatches. Notice that I have no gradient swatches in this example, therefore my panel is now blank. Now that we have a general understanding of what the Swatches panel is all about, let's work towards creating a new swatch color. Swatches can include spot or process colors, mixed inks, which are process colors mixed with one or more spot colors, RGB or lab colors, gradients, or tints. When you place an image that contains spot colors, the colors are automatically added as swatches to the Swatches panel. You can apply these swatches to objects in your document, but you cannot redefine or delete the swatches. So to create a new swatch, click on the Swatches panel menu. Then select New Color Swatch. From the Color Type drop-down menu, choose the method you'll use to print document colors on a printing press. When it comes to working with the swatch name, you can do one of the following. You can choose Process as the color type as displayed here, and have the name always to describe the color values. If you'd like this to be the case, ensure that the checkbox next to Name with Color Value is selected. You also have the option of deselecting Name with Color Value, while choosing Process as the color type, and then typing the name of the color yourself in the new text box that's been provided. If you choose Spot from the Color Type drop-down menu, notice you have the option of naming the color swatch yourself. For Color Mode, choose the mode you want to use in defining the color. Avoid changing the mode after you define a color. You can do one of the following. You can drag the sliders to change the color values, or you can also enter numeric values in the text boxes next to the color sliders. And for spot colors, choose from the color libraries located in the Color Mode menu. I'm going to switch to the RGB color mode. If you're working with an RGB color mode and an out-of-gamut alert icon appears, which I will demonstrate by changing my red, green, and blue colors until one actually appears in my example, then click the small color box next to the alert icon to select the in-gamut color closest to the color you originally specified. Remember that completing this step is important for converting your colors to CMYK, which is something you'd really want to make sure that you do if you choose to use commercial printers. Click the OK button when finished. Notice that the new color swatch is displayed within the Swatches panel. You also have the option to create a new color swatch by creating a swatch from an existing color in the document. To do so, I'm going to move to page 2, select an object with color applied to it, and then I'll select the New Color Swatch option from the Swatches panel menu. In this area, we can make any changes that we desired to this existing color, such as giving it a name, and then clicking the OK button when we're finished. Now notice that the polka dot blue color that's applied to the circle on page 2 now exists within our Swatches panel. As you can see, creating a new color swatch from an existing object is really quite simple. This concludes our tutorial on working with color in the Swatches panel. Adding color to our document can really make a difference, so this video and subsequent videos will help you take the necessary steps to applying colors in the next chapter.